when we were lying down earlier on, and I knew I needed to concentrate on my breathing. But I was thinking, where will I put those lights for this interview? No, Paul, you need to be concentrating. That's the problem.
There's a term, monkey mind, and the mind, as it travels through one thought to another, it's almost like a monkey swinging through branch to branch to branch in the jungle, and sometimes it's got miles away. And the worst thing we can do is go, how did I even start thinking about this? And then retrace your steps, and you're like, all right. What we need to be doing is when we catch ourselves thinking, which is perfectly normal, to go, okay, thinking. Now I'm just going to come back to my breath. So we let that go. We don't judge ourselves like, oh my God, I'm so crap at meditation. I'm so crap at yoga. I'm supposed to be concentrating. Why can't I concentrate? Everyone else in the room's concentrating. Why am I not concentrating? Oh no, now my knee's really sore. I shouldn't have sat like this. I should have sat some, and our mind just goes and goes and goes. So it's no judgment, no attachment. Just focus on the breath. Be centered. And then the mind starts again. But we bring it back. And it's the more we train ourselves to bring the mind back to whatever it is, our focus, the more natural that will become and the more space we create in our mind.
How soon after kind of taking up yoga did you actually start teaching?
To be honest, I was practicing yoga for about 12 years before I finally went to India and got myself a teacher training certificate. But one time I was on a project, it was a Christmas campaign. There was a team of 7 people, myself included, who did 2 all-nighters back to back. And we delivered the best possible work. And the client quite literally sent one email, knowing how we worked that hard. It was a thank you, but it was just one line. Thanks, guys. I was like, seriously? Like, do you even realise quite how much we've worked here? And of course, we all went home. We all got ill that weekend because our bodies are not designed to work that long without rest. And that kind of made me wake up and realise, can I really see myself being a project manager when I'm in my 50s, my 60s? So I started to think, right, okay, I've always loved yoga. I feel more than ever that I need yoga in my life. And I feel like I really wanted to share what I discovered through yoga and what I think every single person should do to find that balance. So that was the real driving force. That was the catalyst that said, right, okay, you're going. That's it. You're going to find a course and you're going. And I did. And Sam, my partner, was amazingly supportive. She was like, yes, you need to go. You need to do that. And so, yeah, it was literally, I was in India about 5 weeks, came back, and I was a qualified yoga teacher, although what my course taught is that very first course is the starting point. Coming back from India without a job, because I was a freelancer, so I quit my job. So it was important to me to set up classes immediately, really quickly. I'm the kind of person that if I don't do it straight away, I'd probably lose my confidence with it. And when you finish your teacher training program, I was so inspired. My teachers really instilled it that we needed to get out there and start teaching now. And so I did that. I set up classes. I hired a studio. It was a community centre. Everything just fell into place. There was a brand new community centre that was opening, and they didn't have any bookings. So I was like, hey, I'll do it. So I had my pick of evenings.
Was there a ready audience?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I had to get my own audience. Yeah. But to start with, I started with friends, and I didn't charge. It was just friends who were coming, and I was desperate. And I had about 5 people, and you're like,
And was
terrified.
that important for you to get over the nerves?
Yeah, I don't recommend yoga teachers teach for free. No. As far as I was concerned, that was a continuation of my development, my training. And I did that just for a few weeks. It wasn't a huge amount of time. And then I started to market the classes, and I started to charge. I had about 3 weeks where I could play around it, sequencing classes, and that was fantastic. But then I did go back to project management, and I had to make that balance. So I was trying to sequence classes in my spare time, trying to market classes in my spare time, teach 2 evenings a week I started off, and work full-time in a very demanding job. So the biggest challenge I found was that I would have to leave the office on time. It was really interesting. I was in a client meeting once and I turned up at the beginning of the meeting. I knew that I had a hard stop. I told everyone in the room I needed to leave at 5:30, and of course the meeting went on and it got to 5:30 and I said I'm going to need to leave really soon, and the meeting went on, and at 6 o'clock, that was literally, I could not be a minute later than 6 o'clock. I just said, I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to leave. And I got up and left, and that didn't go down very well with the client or with my colleagues, but it was like, what else can I do? I've got students coming to my class. I can't be late.
Mm-hmm. And what other challenges have you found?
In my very early days as a yoga teacher, I had a pregnant lady come to my class, and I just froze. It was awful. But I came away from that class saying I need to get myself trained in pregnancy yoga so that I know how to keep a pregnant woman safe in my class. So I did that, and being part of the that pregnancy yoga teacher training course just inspired me. I realised how important pregnancy yoga is, how you can change how a woman feels about her body in pregnancy and about birth, how by keeping someone calm, they embrace the changes that's happening with their body and they start to look forward to the birth of their baby. But I was teaching pregnancy yoga, and what I realised is that I wanted my mums to come back to me after they'd had their babies.
Right.
So of course the next step was postnatal yoga,
I love this. It's
mummy
a journey,
and baby
isn't it?
yoga.
And it's going to be teenage yoga before you know it.
We'll see about that. I quite like them when they can't crawl around. And the other side of the coin as well with pregnancy yoga is that I'd heard of something called hypnobirthing. A lot of my clients were doing this course called hypnobirthing, and they all came back to me afterwards saying what an amazing birthing experience they'd had. So I needed to look into that, and that was another course that I needed to do, get qualified in.
Never heard of hypnobirthing.
No, a lot of people haven't. It's certainly becoming more mainstream now, which is fantastic. A lot more celebrities are getting involved, which is great. Once they make it more mainstream, then...
When I count down from 10, you have had a baby.
It's not quite as straightforward as that. But it's learning. It's a whole 2-day course, and it's learning incredible techniques to help keep you calm, comfortable, and in control in labour. It's also a full antenatal program, so you understand how the body works in labour, the hormones, the uterus, what the womb actually does. It's a muscle and it works really incredibly hard, and just how the female body is actually designed to give birth. And once we've had that little bit of education, suddenly there's aha moments.
And this is something you do as well, is it?
Yeah, so this is not now my focus of my business. People are genuinely bowled over by the experience they get. So it's nearly always a positive experience. Wow. And I always request feedback from my clients. And I always ask them to give me really honest feedback. And I take whatever, if ever there's anything negative in there, it's hard because
it's always something about your accent, isn't it?
I've never had anyone complain about my accent. No, on the odd occasion that I do get negative, what might be construed as negative feedback, you've got to turn that around. You've got to say, okay, that was that person's experience of my course. What can I do to make sure that another person doesn't have that exact same experience? And so every bit of feedback, it hurts sometimes. You think, oh, really? I didn't think I did that, or I don't know how that came across because that wasn't what I meant. But it's about learning. And one of the challenges working for yourself is that you haven't got a boss or a peer to be saying, this could be a better way of doing that. So the feedback from customers is so crucial because it's the only way that you can continue to improve. I find it really challenging to not have colleagues. One of the things I miss most about being in advertising, in project management, is the fact that you've got a routine. You get up at a certain time every day, you go to the office. Everyone thinks it's great to have the freedom to not do that, but the structure of that is really quite important.
Right.
And walking in the office at 9 o'clock or 8:30 or whenever you turn up, and just having colleagues to say good morning to. There are two things that recently I've changed in my own business that I think I would strongly urge people who are thinking of setting up on their own to do. The first is to get a listening partner. So this so this is someone who you might know already. It could be a friend or a colleague or a family member. Probably not your partner, probably not somebody who is sick to death of hearing you, to be honest. Somebody a little bit distant. And I've got a listening partner. We get together over Skype once a week for an hour.
Is this like a mentor? Is this
it's not really a mentor. The idea is that you each listen to each other for half an hour without any judgment, without trying to solve any problem.
And does she or he have a business as well?
Absolutely.
And you listen to their business?
Yeah, it's not always business. Sometimes we talk about what's going on in our personal life. But if you've got someone to talk to who isn't trying to give you their opinion of how to solve a problem, you will solve your own problem.
Yes, solve it yourself.
And just by having half an hour where someone listens, you come to your own conclusions. Mm-hmm. And you're like, actually, I realise this is what I need to do. And the second thing I recommend is that I think everyone should have a mentor.
Okay.
And I only got my mentor, actually I've probably had her about a year, but I've only really started using her in the last few months.
Oh, how did you find her?
She's a mentor specifically in, she's got a group called the Baby Business School. And it's for people who work with pregnancy or with new mums, who are trying to get their business off the ground, people who are trying to sort of find new ways to market, and it's a really wonderful community. Everyone helps each other. But this mentor is so inspirational. She's been there and done a whole load of stuff already. She's a hypnobirthing teacher. She's had empowered, beautiful births. She's also an incredibly astute businesswoman. She's a coach. So she comes at things from a bit of a coaching perspective, again, letting you find your own decisions. Why do you actually want your own business? Like, really, why? And what do you actually want to get out of your business? So she really just takes us on this journey and makes us see very, very clearly. So I recommend everyone has a mentor. And I think the mentor has to be somebody who you admire and someone who already does things better than you do. Because if you get someone on the same level as you, you're just going to hit blocks.
Yeah.
You need someone who is a little bit better than you. Combining hypnobirthing with yoga is really my passion. I've set up Sunderland Hypnobirthing.
Sunderland? Okay.
So I go up there once every 1 to 2 months.
The hero's return.
And so does the accent. So I go up there once every couple of months, hire a space in a beautiful, the Sunderland Yoga Studio. So it's really important for me to be able to take what I know and I've learned in London back home, so I'm benefiting people up there as well. In London, I work with private clients mainly, teaching hypnobirthing and yoga. And the future is really that I'm in the process of creating an online course.
Oh,
again, combining the yoga and the hypnobirthing and a coaching element as well. So that's sort of the next steps, just so I can reach more people.
How far advanced are you in kind of planning that?
Very early stages.
Okay.
I adore working one-on-one with people. I adore leading groups. I love teaching the yoga. But when I was running all over London, teaching back to back, to be honest,
at your best.
You get a little bit robotic. Inhale, take your arms over the head, exhale, forward fold. The amount of times I was saying that in a day was obscene. So it's, okay, I want to be passionate about teaching. I want to be able to put effort into my teaching. I want to be able to sequence my classes intelligently. I want to continue my own personal growth, both as a yoga teacher and as a birth professional.
That's amazing. Well, look, best of luck for what you're doing, and thank you so much. It's been so interesting hearing about the journey, where you came from, the challenges that you've had, and where you're going in the future. Really inspirational. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure.
I'm joined today by Zoe James of Zoe Hi.